Hi, it's Mark from Kings Landing Sport Fishing. I wanted to share a tip today that I've been using for about the last 2 or 3 years, depending on the time of year. This setup is great in the spring for kings when they're in shallow. It is also great when you're downrigging on the big lake and you're looking for a more stealth presentation. And it can also work well when the fleas are out and they're getting all gummed up on your 25 or 30 pound monofilament downrigger rod. So I'll start by, I have this setup made up already on an Akuma cold water, but I wanted to set the setup up on a Tekota 600. So what I've done is I've actually made it and then I've spooled it onto a empty spool that I had to show you. So the setup starts with 19 strand torpedo wire. On this Tekota 600, I fit about 750 to 800 feet of the wire as backer. So this is the wire you want right here. Torpedo 19 strand wire. It's a fantastic wire for this, and I'll explain why it works so well as a backer. As I move on, you're going to see that I have Leadcore on this rod, and this is a 2-color setup. But what's great about this in the spring, I can just run a 2-color when the kings are in shallow. As the season gets on, I can also use that as a bit of a stealth rod off a downrigger. And when the fleas come out, I can use this rod again, stealth rod, but also the wire doesn't have the fleas attached to it, or if it does, it just comes off really, really easy. But what's also great about this 19 strand wire is it sinks at the same rate as Leadcore. So when I put a 2-color on this, I can essentially mimic a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 color just by letting out more line. And I'll show you how I terminate this. So as you can see here, I've got 19 strand, and I'm going to wind this onto the reel and show you the different steps. So what I've got right here is actually 19 strand, and then what I do, I actually put a 20-foot section of braided line. In my case, I've got 80-pound braid that I've got a huge spool of. I like that. I use that as the section in between. Why do you want this section? I'd say for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, if you're running this as a 2-color, I like to run the braid, and that's what I clip my inline boards and my big boards to, and that way I'm not clipping to the wire. The other piece that's nice about this braid is if I want to run it as a secret weapon rig off of a downrigger, I can use the braid and attach that to my downrigger release clip, therefore again not damaging the 19 strand. So I'll wind that up. And like I said, I got about 20 feet of the green 80-pound braid on there. And then we've got our connection to the Leadcore. That's super simple. You've all got your choice knot. I like a double uni knot. I've had good success with it, nice and tight, and that's what I use. So there's my double uni knot. Now I'm into my 2 colors. I'm going to wind my 2 colors on. So in this case, I got a green, and I think I've got a black as my next color coming on. I like to, anytime I get a tangle on a Leadcore, I'll keep whatever lead is good. So in this particular case, I had a tangle on a 10 color with a wire diver last year, and I was able to salvage about 5 of the colors. So I kept that, and I'm using it here. And now I've got my attachment to the fluorocarbon. Again, some people like different knots. I like a double uni. I've had good success with it, so I'm using that here. And now I've got my 20-pound Seagar Blue Label fluorocarbon. And in this particular case, I think I got about 31 feet. Because that's what was left on the roll. And there you have it. This rod can be used in many times. Starting with the spring, right through the season. It's a fantastic rod, like I said, when you're looking for a stealth presentation. It's also great to have as an extra Leadcore rod. Like, I got a 10, 8, 7, 5 color on the boat. But, having this 2-color with a 19 strand, If I've got one rod that's working really, really well, hypothetically, let's say it's a 7 color, I let out the 2 colors here. I let out the 20 feet of braid because I just consider that bonus. It's a bit of a join situation. And then if I want to mimic that 7 color, I need to let out 5 more colors. So basically I'll just reset my counter and I'll let out 180 feet to mimic 5 colors. So 5 times 30. And now I've got the equivalent of a 7 color. It's a great rod, especially when you're running spoons. Hope this helps. And the only thing I would do after that, I've got to add this or install this reel on a rod. But then I would put my torpedo swivel on, and I'm good to go for Spring Kings coming in a few months, and then using this as a stealth presentation off whether it be a rigger or using it as an extra lead core rod later in the season. Hope that helps. Again, this is Mark from Kings Landing Sport Fishing. Try this stuff out. I was converted a few years ago talking to Matthew from Torpedo. He told me about this setup. I gave it a go with lead core. I also gave it a go using some of his weighted steel. Just a shorter piece on a smaller reel, and it worked fantastically well. Hope this helps for you. Thank you.